I have too much work that I do on Wednesday, so I'm gonna have to change this from Woodchild Wednesday to something with Thursday. If you have any name ideas, let me know. I just work too much on Wednesday. It would be really late Wednesday when I did a video, if I did a video, and I'm just not trying to do that. I really am not. Thursday I have a lot more free time and it would be a lot more easier. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, because there's just no way. I'm not going to come in off of work and do a video. I'm not. I know that. I've had a talk with myself, and I'm just not going to do that. I know I have no motivation to do that. It's so much easier on Thursday. So it would be something with Thursdays. I don't know. But it's essentially the same thing. I would be reading Reddit posts that that I found, or your letters if you send any in. The one that I chose today is my partner, a female 34, quiet quit our relationship, and I am a 37-year-old male, need closure. First of all, if you're going to break up with somebody, do it to their face. Quiet quitting somebody it's just rude. Just tell them. Say it with your chest. Just tell them, I don't want to be with you anymore. Just say that. Don't just disappear. You know, that's so. It's just not a good thing to do. Don't do that. Tell them. Be like, hey, I don't think this is gonna work out. Whatever. Just talk to them. Don't just quiet quit. That is horrible. Don't do that to nobody. Tell them. You know, find what you want to say, even if you have to. You know, I would not suggest writing a letter, but even if you have to do that, if you don't want to tell them to their face, don't just disappear and don't say nothing. That's a horrible thing. But let's see what he says. We've been together for approximately 4 years, engaged for the last year, bought a house, had big plans to ride off into the sunset together. It was the best 4 years of my life. We were absolutely crazy about each other. She didn't break up with me until I forced her to make a decision. Because she was quiet quitting in the last few months, i.e. being distant, cold, not engaging. So she never had the gall to actually do it. So instead, she just became a bad partner until I began the discussion. I am absolutely devastated. I can see why she became unhappy. I became busy with work right after we bought the house. It's a fixer-upper. With my job and the house, I would definitely admit that I neglected the relationship, but never to the point that I was a bad partner. In my mind, it was just a tough time we had to work through together, and I was happy to do it with her. I took it all on. She claimed she stopped asking to do things together because I would always say no because I was too tired at the end of the workday. If he's working and you have somewhere to stay because he's going to work, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, I'm somebody that doesn't need a lot, so maybe that's where this is coming from. But if I had somewhere pleasant to stay, I wouldn't care. I mean, obviously you want him to be there sometime, but I mean, it's not like he's going out with his friends. He's at work. Don't understand that. She claimed that our life goals don't align, but she never really communicated what hers were. Mine were to get married and buy a house. Kids were always a question mark for both of us. She always said she wanted to travel. She went on three trips to tropical vacations last year. Multiple European countries the year prior. I thought the box was checked for her. Last November, she went on a trip to French Polynesia and then met up with me in the Caribbean for a friend's wedding. December was great with all the Christmas parties, and once that party subsided, I began to notice she was on WhatsApp a lot. Turns out she's been talking to a guy she met in Polynesia 3 times or more a day, takes calls. I never thought she was capable of cheating. Honestly, I don't think she did. I just find it absolutely wild that she wouldn't talk to me about trying to fix stuff before she started considering talking to another man so much. We're separated. Selling the house, etc. I've never been so heartbroken in my life. I just worked so hard for her. I shared life together, and she just wants to chase butterflies. I need closure, though. Why couldn't we work it out? before it got bad and the damage done. Maybe I'm just ranting, but I would like to know everyone else's similar experience and input. I will read the update in a second. Mm, I mean, I'll say this: relationships are not fun. They are a lot of work, and you have to be with somebody who thinks that the relationship is worth the work. She don't sound like she thought it was worth the work. She would then try to work it out. She just went and found her another man. That is not who you want. You want somebody in your life that's going to work through the stuff, because stuff is going to come up. Of course it is. You're two separate people trying to share a life together. Things are going to come up. You need somebody that you can talk to. Somebody that's going to talk to you and say, hey, I'm not happy this is going on, and how can we fix it? What's the solution? The solution is not going and talking to some man from Polynesia. That is terrible. You know, she didn't choose you, so you have to choose you. You have to decide that, okay, you know, she's done this, and I'm not going to stand for it. Because if she's doing this now, in a relationship, what's she going to do in a marriage? You cannot expect any better than what you're getting. Update. New information has been obtained proving that she did in fact cheat on me. No closure required. Onwards, I guess. Big thanks to those of you who provided similar experiences and input on moving forward. Your thoughts are much appreciated. Bro. I mean, what were the chances that she wasn't, you know? Like I said, it was just better for you to move on. And she didn't want to sound like she was gone. She didn't want to work on it. She was already out the door, you know? She had already said goodbye long ago. And you were the one that was just holding on to wanting to be in this relationship. She didn't. She moved on, found her a Polynesian man. I'm going to see what some of these comments said. Closure is a myth, go to therapy. That's one of them says. Truth. I recently had an ex who I broke up with a year ago and have an order of protection against. Texting me saying how awful I was for never giving him closure. Dude, I told you I told you to never come near me again. Me or my family. And a judge ruled that it's illegal for you to contact me. Seems pretty good closure if you ask me. Laugh out loud, that's pretty good closure. It's not necessarily a myth, but it is something that you can give yourself. Therapy will definitely help you do that. That is true. Therapy doesn't change anything. That's what I tell people. You're not going to come and your life is magically going to be better. What has happened, happened. Therapy can help you accept it. Therapy can help you figure out where in the story of your life does this go. What has happened, happened. I cannot, if I had the power to undo stuff, I would undo a lot of things in my own life. That's not how it works. You know, you learn to accept the things that happen to you. And that's what therapy helps you do. And so in a lot of situations, therapy can give you closure because you accept the situation, that's what it is, and you move on. And that is the greatest type of closure. Sometimes you cannot fix it. You want to, but you can't. And as sad as that is, you know, it's not, the idea that someone else can give you closure is a myth. Healing is the only way forward. It's an inside job. You must give it to yourself. You won't get it from your ex, especially by resuming contact. As somebody else said, in my experience, closure is entitlement. Closure is the neglectful person trying to get the neglected person to do parts of the healing for them. They feel entitled to help with moving on, as if the neglected person owes them help through the pain of being dumped, which they don't. Reasonable adults don't try to offload their healing or on their ex by excusing it as closure. If anything, it's just another way for users and often abusers to try to wring more use out of the person they've been using. Closure is also used as an excuse to meet and or talk to the neglected person, often in an attempt to get them back or hurt them. So closure is, if anything, a manipulation tactic, ETA. Life is not black and white. I'm not saying it always is. Some people do need closure. They need to know that something is ended. I don't agree that it's manipulation. I don't believe that it is. I think some people need that, you know. Now, if you're going to get it, make sure that's what it is and that you're not making yourself available so they can try to win you back. Closure is knowing that it's over and wanting to just round it up, round it out. It's not, oh, I hope he's going to say he's trying to get me back. Oh, I hope she's going to say something and try to win me back. No, that's not closure. Closure is the end of a chapter. So you're going to end it. It's not for you to be trying to rekindle something. If it's over, it's over, She got her Polynesian dude. You have the rest of your life. Figure out what you want for your life and focus on that. And maybe during that time you'll meet somebody. If you do, great. If you don't, oh well. It's whatever. She just sounded like she wasn't really trying to put in any work. And the thing is, most people, the people that don't want to be in relationships, don't want to be in relationships because they work. It's not all fun and games all the time. I mean, it a lot of, if you find the right person, it can be. But there are often going to be times where y'all are going to come to head about something, and you're going to have to work through it. But running off and finding some dude in Polynesia is never the answer. And that was her answer, which gave you your answer. Is she going to be a good partner for me? The answer is no. And so you just move on. I know it hurts, I'm sure you probably wish she went about it in a different way and it would have been better, but she did what she did. It's unfortunate. It is quite unfortunate, but what you gonna do, I think it ended the way that it needed to. If you had gone back, you'd just be in another few years, it would have been some other problem. If you had lasted that long, or a couple of months down the road, it would have been something else. Because it just don't sound like y'all were equally matched. And sometimes that happens. There is not a rightful science about finding your partner. You make a lot of mistakes. You learn from those mistakes, use them toward the next thing, and then keep on moving. That's just what you do. Leave below if you have any ideas for like a Thursday name, because Thursdays are probably going to be when I do this. Wednesday, I just work too much. There's no way. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not motivated, and I'm usually pretty tired. And I'm not finna do that. So, it will be on Thursday, so I got to come up with a Thursday name. But I will see you guys again next week. Bye-bye.